So imagine this. You step out of a global war, totally broke, bored, and then bam! You stumble right into this massive conspiracy, one that could, flip your whole country upside down.
Right, and it's led by a criminal mastermind nobody's even seen. It sounds completely wild, like something out of a novel.
Exactly. But the true insights here, especially the surprising psychology behind the villain, that's what really grabs you. It's maybe more captivating than pure fiction sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. It's the classic fish out of water thing, isn't it? You've got these amateurs thrown into the deep end of espionage. And the twists, especially figuring out who the real mastermind is, well, it tells you a lot about how power can just hide in plain sight.
That is spot on, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack for you in this deep dive. We're digging into Agatha Christie's The Secret Adversary.
A fantastic source for this kind of story.
Totally. Our mission today, figure out how these two ordinary young people, Tommy and Tuppence, end up smack in the middle of an international plot. We want to reveal the identity of this mysterious Mr. Brown.
The big question.
And really explore the chilling psychology of a master criminal who thrives on being invisible. We'll show you how all these little threads, like overheard chats, some really bold bluffs, desperate moments, they all weave together into this complex picture of danger and, surprisingly, patriotism.
And what hits you right away is that these aren't trained spies. Not at all. It's about how regular lives, pushed by circumstance, can just collide with these huge geopolitical games.
Yeah, with massive consequences.
Exactly.
So let's get into it, starting with our unlikely heroes. Picture London,
Okay.
right after World War I. The fighting's over, but for loads of people, there's a new battle. Just finding work.
Yeah, a really tough time.
And that's where you meet Tommy and Tuppence, young friends. The source nails it. They're demobbed and stony. Basically, out of war service, flat broke, no real prospects.
And that feeling, that post-war slump, it wasn't just them, was it? It was a whole generation, a whole society kind of resetting itself. The old world was gone. And young people were hungry for something, anything. Even if it was risky, you can feel that energy.
Definitely. So their big idea, their solution to being unemployed. Let's become young adventurers for hire.
As you do.
I know, they literally write an ad. 2 young adventurers for hire, willing to do anything, go anywhere, pay must be good.
Love the confidence.
And then Tommy adds this little kicker. No unreasonable offer refused. It's just so brazen, such a reaction to being bored and broke.
It really is. And maybe that's the deeper point there, isn't it? It sort of challenges this idea that only the pros, the trained agents, can tackle the big threats. Here it's just pure nerve. Gumption, just being willing to try something wild that throws the door wide open. It says a lot about maybe individual agency or just, the chaos of desperation.
And that door opens almost instantly, but in such a quiet way. Tommy's in a tea shop, crowded place, and he just happens to overhear 2 guys talking about someone. Jane Finn.
Just a name?
Just a name, dropped in passing. But that tiny detail, that becomes clue number 1. The big one.
Classic spy stuff, right?
Yeah.
The important bits aren't always shouted from the rooftops. Sometimes they're whispered in the background noise.
You just have to be listening.
Exactly. Really listening.
And it doesn't take long for Tuppence, who's always thinking on her feet, to pull on that thread. This dodgy character, Mr. Whittington, comes up to her. He actually heard them talking about their adventurer plan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So Tuppence, sharp as ever, she just bluffs. Claims she knows about Jane Finn, a name she literally just heard from Tommy maybe moments before.
That's quick thinking. Her ability to just improvise like that, keep a straight face under pressure.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Totally.
And boom, she's immediately got the attention of the very people they need to figure out. She's instantly a player in the game, not just watching.
And Whittington, he freaks out. You can tell he's rattled, and his offer is just bizarre. He wants to send Tuppence using a fake name, pretending to be his ward-off to a pensionnat in Paris, like a finishing school, for crazy money, which leads to the big question for you listening. Why? Why send someone off to a posh school in Paris for such high pay? It makes 0 sense on the surface. What's really going on there?
Well, a textbook, isn't it? Disguise something serious as something totally ordinary.
Yeah.
The massive paycheck for a simple job, that's the flashing red light. It screams that Tuppence is being moved around like a pawn in a much bigger, much riskier game.
Yeah.
That school isn't about French lessons. It's a cover, either to stash her somewhere or maybe line her up for whatever comes next.
It's wild because Tuppence just stumbled onto this Jane Finn thing by chance. But the real Jane Finn story, that started way earlier, during the war. Sinking of the Lusitania in 1915.
Such a huge historical event.
Right. And on that ship, a young American woman, Jane Finn, is given these vitally important papers by a man called Danvers. Turns out they're a secret treaty. Super crucial for the Allies.
And using the Lusitania anchors it in real history, gives that fictional treaty real weight. You immediately get the scale of the danger. This isn't just a MacGuffin. It could genuinely change the war.
And Jane, under maybe the worst pressure imaginable, she pulls off this incredible move right after getting the papers. She swaps the real treaty documents for blank paper inside the oilskin packet they gave her.
Wow. Okay.
Then get this, she hides the actual treaty inside a magazine. Just incredible presence of mind. She outsmarted them from the get-go.
That quick thinking, that decisiveness under fire, it's kind of Jane's signature move, isn't it? And it sets up the whole mystery. Everyone's hunting for the treaty, but they're looking in the wrong place thanks to her.
A single act of defiance.
Exactly. Changes everything.
So Tommy and Tuppence are kind of circling this thing, not quite knowing how big it is, and then Mr. Carter enters the picture. He's high up in British intelligence, and Tommy actually knows him from the war.
The inside connection.
Right, and Carter lays it all out. This isn't just about some missing papers anymore. This is potentially catastrophic for Britain.
Yeah, he spells out the real stakes. That treaty, if the wrong people get it, it could totally discredit the government, give the Labor Party this irresistible rallying cry, and basically ignite a revolution funded by Bolshevist gold. The stakes are literally nation-changing.
And pulling all the strings behind this potential chaos. The big bad, Mr. Brown.
Ghost.
Totally. Elusive, almost mythical. The source says he's behind the Bolshevists, but really he just wants supreme power for himself.
A classic megalomaniac motive.
But what's really clever and kind of scary is how he operates. He uses non-entities, like a servant, a clerk, people you wouldn't look twice at, often using a really common name like Brown.
And that Mr. Brown idea is just brilliant criminal psychology. It plays on the fact that the truly dangerous people can just blend in. They look ordinary.
Invisible in plain sight.
Exactly. It makes you question everyone. Who could be the Mr. Brown right under your nose? It's a chilling thought.
So with the stakes this high and Mr. Brown being basically a phantom, Tuppence does something incredibly brave. She decides to go undercover.
Risky. Very risky.
She gets help from this young lick boy. Albert totally cons him into thinking she's some American detective genius and transforms herself, becomes Prudence Cooper, a house parlor maid.
Okay.
And she gets inside the house of Mrs. Vandermeyer.
Rita Vandermeyer, key player. She's described as beautiful, but with that steely ring in her voice, those gimlet-like eyes.
Sharp.
Very. But crucially, she's afraid of Mr. Brown. Really afraid. That tells you something, right? She's got power, she's involved, but even she answers to him, shows you how tight his control is.
Meanwhile, Tommy's off on his own mission. He follows another operative, Boris, to this rundown house in Soho.
Right into the lion's den.
And his way in, pure nerve. He just walks up and says, Mr. Brown, as a password.
Does it work?
It works. He gets in, total bluff, high risk, high reward.
Unbelievable courage. Or maybe recklessness.
Maybe a bit of both. And inside, he hits the jackpot, finds a secret meeting of the conspirators, including Kraminin, the supposed man behind Bolshevism.
Okay, now he's really in deep.
He overhears everything. Their plan for a massive general strike on the 29th. How badly they need that treaty to manipulate the labor leaders.
Getting closer to the core plot.
But then the penny drops for Tommy. He hears them talking about needing to find a girl who knows where the treaty is. Jane Finn.
Connecting the dots. It's all coming together.
But just as he puts it all together, wham! Someone knocks him out cold from behind.
Oh no, captured. Right when he's figured it out.
Exactly. Leaves you hanging right. What's going to happen to him?
Okay, so while Tommy's captured, let's rewind a bit. What actually happened to Jane Finn after that Lusitania stuff?
Well, her ordeal was far from over. After she swapped the papers, they caught up with her, shadowed her, captured her, used these vague but terrifying threats of, well, torture.
That's intense. So how did she cope?
She came up with this brilliant, desperate plan. Fake amnesia, pretend she couldn't remember anything, speak only French, called herself Janet Vandermeyer, supposedly another traumatized survivor.
Wow. The mental fortitude to keep that up under constant watch?
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's psychological warfare almost.
Totally. And here's a crazy connection. The room where they first held her captive, the one with the Faust pictures,
Yeah.
it was the exact same room where Tommy gets held later.
No way. That's
Oh.
intricate. Shows how layered Brown's network was.
Yeah.
So many seemingly random people involved.
Right. Eventually, they moved her to a sanatorium in Bournemouth, run by a Dr. Hall. And watching her there, Nurse Edith.
Let me guess. Part of the conspiracy.
You got it. Turns out she's Mr. Whittington's niece, part of the web all along.
The deception is just everywhere. It really makes you wonder who you can
Right.
trust. So the hiding place, behind the picture.
Yep. In that Soho room, behind the Faust picture of Marguerite with her casket of jewels, hiding in plain sight again. Just genius.
Incredible. Okay, so back to Tommy and Tuppence. Things were looking bad for Tommy.
And then the conspirators play their cruelest card yet. They make it look like Tuppence is dead.
What?
They plant her belongings up on the Yorkshire coast. Send news to Tommy. It's devastating. Designed to completely crush him, throw him off the scent.
Wow. That's brutal. A classic misdirection tactic, but really hits hard emotionally.
Huge test for Tommy, right? He's reeling, but his logical brain kicks in. He figures out the telegram that supposedly came from Tuppence, sending him off on a wild goose chase to this moat house place. It was fake.
How did he know?
The spelling. He says she'd never spell her name Tuppence, but anyone who'd never seen it written might quite easily do so.
Ah, such a small detail.
Mm-hmm.
But something only he would likely notice.
Exactly. It shows that sometimes it's not spy training, it's just knowing someone. That personal connection cuts through the lies. His common sense saves him.
That's a great insight. So while Tommy's dodging misdirection, who else is in the mix?
Enter Julius Hirschheimer, Jane Finn's American millionaire cousin. He just bursts onto the scene full of energy, hustle as the source puts it, and he wants answers.
A different kind of player.
Mm-hmm.
More direct.
Oh, yeah. He actually confronts Kramenin, forces information out of him using apparently a mix of waving a gun around and telling him harrowing anecdotes.
Psychological pressure and a revolver.
Hmm.
Interesting combo.
Whatever works, right. Julius is definitely a wild card. He shakes things up.
Which you sometimes need in these situations.
And then comes the big rescue. Julius tracks Tuppence and Jane down to this place called Astley Priors. Tommy manages to join the chase partway through.
Action sequence.
Big time. Thrilling car chase, shootout, the works. They manage to rescue both Tuppence and Jane. Finally, the good guys are reunited, and crucially, Jane is safe and can talk.
Okay, this is it. The turning point. All the main players are together. Jane's safe. The puzzle pieces are all on the table.
Exactly. Stage is set for the final act.
And the big reveal.
So Jane, finally safe, tells them everything. Her whole story, the capture, the faked amnesia, and most importantly, where the treaty is hidden. Behind that picture in Soho.
Okay, mystery solved. Mr. Brown.
Yes. Mr. Brown. This is the jaw-dropper. The person revealed as the master criminal, Sir James Peel Edgerton.
The KC. The respected lawyer. The one who seemed like an ally.
The very same. Celebrated King's Counsel, hobby in criminology, seemed like he was helping them. Turns out he was Mr. Brown all along. Working in the dark, manipulating everyone to get his hands on that treaty.
That is shattering. It completely flips everything you thought you knew.
And we get this incredible glimpse into his mind. Mr. Carter reads from Sir James's diary later. It exposes everything. His belief in his own exceptional abilities, his absolute contempt for ordinary, stupid criminals.
His ego.
Huge ego. And his goal, absolute power, achieved by operating completely outside the law. He even wrote about his method.
What do you say?
Chilling stuff. No disguises, no grease paint, no false beards. Personality, I put it on like a glove. When I shed it, I was myself. Quiet, unobtrusive, a man like every other man. I called myself Mr. Brown. There are hundreds of men called Brown. There are hundreds of men looking just like me.
Wow. That's the core of it, isn't it? The camouflage wasn't a fake beard. It was his entire respectable public persona. The barrister identity was the ultimate disguise.
Exactly. And his final plan was pure ruthlessness. Let Jane escape, let her lead them to the treaty in the Soho room, then kill both her and Tuppence. He'd swoop in, maybe pretend to be wounded in the process, recover the treaty himself, and emerge as the hero.
Calculating, cold-blooded, using trust as his ultimate weapon, hiding behind that mask of credibility.
But Julius gets there just in time, thwarts the whole plan. Sir James, cornered, dramatically poisons himself. His last words to Tommy are supposedly, Ave, Caesar, te morituri salutant. Hail Caesar, we who are about to die salute you.
A dramatic end for a man obsessed with his own perceived greatness. And with him, gone.
The whole network just crumbles. Tommy notes later, deprived of their chief, the organization fell to pieces. Kremenin bolts back to Russia. Mr. Carter destroys the treaty, averting the whole disaster.
It really underscores how much it all relied on that one hidden figure pulling the strings. His power was in his secrecy, his control.
And after all that chaos, our adventurers get their happy endings. Tommy and Tuppence finally admit their feelings.
About time.
Right. And Julius and Jane also pair up. Tuppence even jokes with Julius about being morally jilted, which is quite funny.
Nice touch of humor after all the danger. It wraps up their personal journeys really well.
Yeah, it feels earned.
And it leaves you with that powerful idea, doesn't it? That even facing these huge complex plots run by masterminds, it's often the ingenuity, the bravery, maybe even just the common sense of ordinary individuals that makes the difference.
It wasn't the obvious power players who won. It was, like you said, two broke, demobbed young adventurers who just decided to try something.
Exactly.
So the thought to leave you with, maybe, in our own world, which is just saturated with information, complex stories, how often do we maybe make the same mistake? Overlook the quiet, everyman type who might actually be pulling the strings, or trust the respected figure who's really the manipulator? What Mr. Browns might be out there right now, operating in plain sight, using their respectability as the perfect cover? Makes you think, doesn't it?